with the legendary, with the boss, you know, the name says it all, Ben Baller. He stepped in the building today. We were just chopping it up. He walked in the middle of me dealing with some weed beef, some weed war. It's real. It's real in the street.
Oh, man.
It's crazy.
Dudes, man. Yeah, you know.
It's like the dope game and the rap game all mixed in one. The weed game's cutthroat as a motherfucker, bro.
Crazy, right? And everyone and their mama got a cannabis brand now, or they're trying to get in. You know when the Silicon Valley suits come and hit you up and like, yo, man, so we were interested in buying, you know, purchasing a license or a piece of your company. I was like, man, if you don't get your monkey ass out of here, get your little...
Ain't nobody trying to help you build your shit. We're building our own shit. You already know what it is. So you got VVS Pen, and I'm glad we were able to link today because some clowns tried to previously, you know, just get in the middle of good vibes and good relationships building. So now that that's out the way, you know, got the direct line with you now. We're chopping game.
100%. You know, I think the first person I asked... on a personal level.
Oh, shit. Wow, they taped it. Sus.
That shit scared the fuck.
Hey, that's okay. That's natural. This is real podcasting. Take that out for now. We're gonna keep rolling. We don't want to tape it back up. Don't put it back up. You know, that's how good the vibe is. Close the door. The vibe is so strong that the Round Table logo dropped. He was about to preach some shit that was so big, the logo dropped.
Yeah, no, you know, I hit Nick Diamond. I was like, yo, what's up with your boy, man? I'm just trying to hear boom. And I was like, you know, man, he follows me. So, like, you know, let me follow dude back and boom. And so, you know, I was like just trying to see what the good was. And then I hear, you know, a little chit-chat hater shit. And I said, you know what, man, because if just the people I moved with in the Bay, and I lived there for 5 years. I played ball in the Bay. I went to college there. You know, I got a lot of roots in the Bay. There's a lot of people in the streets that fuck with me. And I'm not talking about just Filthy and Cookie, but I'm talking about the real cats, you know, beyond that. And, you know, like, I got some real legends that are behind my back, you know, from all the way from East Palo Alto to Hunters Point.
Shout out to EPA.
You know, and to all the way through fucking North and South Richmond and all over, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Oakland, East Side, West Side, you know, North Side and everything. So, like, going back, I said, yo, listen, man, so it's your boy Berner. And, you know, first part on a money level, Nick Diamond's like, what do you mean, that's my man. That's my guy. In fact, recently, because, you know, now Diamond has a VVS pen and collab boom, he goes, that's my fucking dog, bro. Like, when my Diamond pen comes out, not the collab with his own Diamond pen, he's like, yo, I'm going to do a collab with Cookies. I'm going to do a collab with Berner. That's my guy. And I was like, that's what I thought. Talk to Dave and Joel and all them. They're like, no, dude, that's my man's. If anything, we couldn't talk to him because of partnerships before, you know what I mean? But that's like our guy. And I'm like, yo, where's Rock with you? That's my dude, his son and my son, his friends. Like other people besides celebrities, I'll talk about normal street people or whatever.
Real business people.
I've only heard negative from, you know, your little fans. my
little step brothers. I made a diss song on them and I couldn't release it because I was being threatened to be sued a million different ways, but goddamn, it was a great diss song. I swear to God, it was so personal. It was so good. I mean, the things we were talking about earlier were addressed in major ways. And, you know, I said in the hook, I said, I feel sorry for my sons. Those are my sons, my little boys, my little renegade bastard child, you know, but it's okay. Enough of them. I'm glad to hook up with you, man.
No,
you know,
for sure.
Legendary boss status, bro. You've seen it all, bro. I already know you have, bro. The name Ben Baller is just so mafia alone, bro. It's just... I mean, the name says it all, but you live up to the name. And I'm here for the stories. The thing about the Berner Round Table is I like to get high. I like to hear stories from legendary people that have experienced some crazy shit. Because a lot of people look at people like yourself or me and be like, I wonder what happens behind the scenes. What's the craziest experience, the craziest story? So when we're here, I just try to get them good vibes, some good stories out.
For sure, you know.
You've done so much. It's kind of hard to keep up.
Yeah, man, you tell me. You ask away, man. You tell me what you want, you know.
Man, I want to know what it was like in the early days, right? The early music game, like when it was real street shit in the music business where, you know, the snitching wasn't condoned, when motherfuckers was getting beat up at the sessions. I know you was working with Dre. I don't know if this is a fact, and I heard you might have worked with Death Row. I know you had something to do with Jay. And before we dive into any of the stuff that's going on right now, I want to hear about how you got into that. And some crazy ass experiences, because I know you've seen some shit.
Yeah, you know, okay, first of all, man, we talking about West Coast shit, you know what I mean? Like, so even on the Jay-Z, that was later, that was like 96. So like in the early 90s, you know, especially if you from LA, man, if you wanted to get into some music shit, there was like two areas. There was that G rapper shit, but like the G funk, like, but at the same time, you know, people got it fucked up. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. If you go listen to Doggy Style, And I could listen from one track to track 20. I'm not skip one record. Even like, I know like Snoop Doggy Dogg is like, what's my name? Snoop Doggy. Listen to what he's saying rap-wise and lyric-wise. Now, going on, if you listen to track 1 to 20, especially if you listen to the Shiznit, that's all a freestyle, he is spitting bars. Like fire bars, right? Yep. So you think about like some people like, oh, they gangsters. No, hell no. Do you know what Corrupt was up there? They're putting Corrupt up there rapping with Markham and other people. These dudes was rappers. But then you gotta remember these dudes was also Crips. So like it wasn't like some fake shit, and like growing up, if you was going to any kind of rap concert, it's going to be 85% gangbangers in the audience, you know what I'm saying? And like people had gangsters affiliated with them and everything else. So it's like, being in the music business, being at a Death Row radio station, at a studio session at Can-Am Studios, which is out in Reseda, and it's like pulling up and you're like, oh shit. Like it really is almost like how Straight Outta Compton was. You pull up, you're going to see a 63 lowered Impala, you're going to see a 90s, you're going to see like a Cutlass. You're going to see a Monte Carlo. You're going to see all gangster cars, but then you're going to see some Benzes and dope shit. And as the time went on, you see the elevation to, what it was. And like you pull in the studio and you remind me of Suge a little bit, your stance and everything, but like, and Suge had a softer voice, so you would never think, but like there would be a button. You walk into like, let's say the Studio A, Studio B, Studio C, and like Studio A might be quiet. And like Dre didn't want nobody fucking around in the studio, you know what I mean? The Studio B, you might see Dog Pound. Them motherfuckers is wild. There'll be bitches in there. There'll be motherfucking Rottweilers and pit bulls and shit.
I can only imagine the kind of bitches around in those days too. It's probably wild.
And like they were just crazy, you know what I'm saying? And some of these girls were, they're bad bitches, and then Studio C would be kind of wild. And like there'd be like it was like a not a siren. What the fuck is the thing? Like the intercom.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, Suge just gone to the parking lot. And dog, motherfuckers.
It's like Debo rolling down a block.
They were just like, people got straightened up.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, dog, a motherfucker, if you know what an SSL board, anyone who knows music, SSL, that's the top. That's only Dre uses an SSL. It was an SSL board, and I can't imagine how expensive this motherfucker was. And there was a Neve in the other room, and Neve Boards was also a hot brand. And this dude had a big-ass iced tea on the board, which is already a no. You don't have drinks on the board, you know what I mean?
No.
And the motherfucking iced tea filled in there. And I ain't gonna tell you too much about the graphic shit, but just let you know that Suge's his reputation was definitely, was the shit,
Yeah, he wasn't playing no fucking games.
But it wasn't rated R. It got rated X to the point where I was like, why don't we just can we just play the music? Like, cause I don't want to hear what was going on in there. You feel me? But people are like, man, we don't want to do shit. So it was like quiet, and you hear someone getting their ass beat.
You don't want to disrespect the beating. Like it's almost like we don't put on some music, so you ignore what happens if you fuck up. Then Suge might take it the wrong way or something.
And like way back in the day, now we're gonna go to the '80s. There was an artist named Tone Loc. People think about him being an actor, but he had dog. His album did. I think he was one of the first rappers to go diamond, do 10 mil. Like, Wild Thing was a fucking huge song, right?
Still a huge fucking song.
But nice. Tone Loc was affiliated, like, he was a gangster, you know what I mean? Like, I think when people saw him, they got him messed up, but he's a really nice guy. And there was a very, very scary gang that ended up being a rap group called the Booyah Tribe, and they're like respected.
Oh, I know about Booyah Tribe.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with these dudes, and we're at the Palladium on Sunset Boulevard. It still exists now. It's like right there, just east of Wilcox, and a motherfucking fight broke out. And these motherfuckers, I shit you not, you might have thought this was the movies. They was busting caps across the street from each other, and that's just how shit used to be, Like my office for Priority Records was right there on, actually on Wilcox and Sunset in the CNN building. And fuck it, I'll tell you one quick story. Like, for instance, I'm an A&R, so I'm signing groups. And at the time, Ice Cube had this group called Caution. They had a couple hit singles, 3 young kids, and they were dope. They went on tour with Cube and all them. And Cube's not on the end of his career, but he's definitely, he's like more, past the middle, and he's still doing his thing. This is before In the Club, like, yay, you know what I'm saying? But he's still doing his thing. West Side Connection, I'm sorry. That's what they're doing, and they're popping. They're crushing it right now. There's still a little bit East Coast, West Coast tension. And one of the artists on his label got a solo deal with me. His name's Gonzo. So
I know Gonzo.
Yeah, so I signed Gonzo to a solo deal.
Yeah.
And one of the dudes from his group was upset about it. Dude came up, and this is crazy, man. I was in the lobby. I was with my dad. And my dad is an old Korean dude who just don't know shit about nothing. He's like not even hip to anything. This is like 96. And I see the dude in the lobby. I was like, yo, what's good? He's like, I need to talk to you, man. And I was like, all right. And he was with a real grimy looking dude. And I was like, fuck, man, I already know. And he was like, hey, bro, so check this out. And he was like, not necessarily trying to punk me, but he was saying, like, you got to keep it fair. You know what I'm saying? You need to offer some of us some paper because we ain't getting broken off right. And I was like, bro, that's between y'all and the label. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like a side thing. That ain't through priority. That's not through me. And so Homeboy pulled out a Mac 10, and he had the clip in his pocket and pulled it out. And I was like, half me was scared, and then the other half kind of got like, okay, Doug, if this is my destiny, and you gonna blast me with a fully automatic Mac 10 with the fucking, you know what I'm saying, in the office. Then that's my legacy, you know what I'm saying? And we talked it out, boom. This type of shit happened so much that when we signed Master P came up there with guns all the motherfucking time. It was gangster shit going on, people getting beat up and certain things. Like if you had a beef with somebody, the chit chat only went so far.
It wasn't like MySpace, Instagram,
No,
fucking.
hell no.
This shit now is fucking candy.
No. I don't even want to talk about some of it just because some of these people are very wealthy, rich dudes and whatever. But like, you do a diss record, and they catch you on the 405 freeway.
Oh, it's on and popping.
And beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been running with Soul Assassins for over 20 years. You know what I mean? Shout out to Be Real. Shout out to Mr. Cartoon. Shout out to Estevan. Fucking Sendog and Muggs, all my peoples, you know what I mean? I got love for all them. And you want to talk about cannabis, bro? Them motherfuckers are still legends in that whole world. You know, they opened that fucking weed hippie hip hop shit.
They were OG Kush.
Yeah,
you know
OG for real. You know,
Yep.
and Kenji,
Yep.
who was the most legendary OG Kenji Kush. You are the legend. It's my guy. These dudes got into beef with Cube, and that shit got ugly.
I heard some.
So this is how bad it
stories.
got. One night, someone misunderstood something I said. At the time, Be Real was dating Carmen Electra. Mm-hmm. And I know Carmen because I used to DJ with her and everything, whatever. And Carmen was cool with the other dude. And I hit my boy up because he had burners on the low. I was like, hey, dog, I need a burner. He's like, what you want, 9, 45, 40? I was like, dog, tell you the truth, I want anything but a 22. I just need something. And he knew there was beef between Cypress Hill and Ice Cube. I just represented the label. I wasn't really on Cube's side. It was just like a boom. It wasn't like anything deep. All of a sudden, Cypress was against me now. So they thought that I was trying to fucking, start some shit. Plus, I'm trying to get a gun from her boyfriend, his girlfriend's friend. So they thought some shit was popping. So they're playing at the House of Blues on Sunset, tore it down now, right across from Mondrian. And my boy goes, hey, man, let's go to the Cypress Hill concert. Because we all homies. Of any kind of concert, we're going to go to it, especially if it's local right there in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's just right down the street, fam.
I had
Walking
the privilege
distance.
of performing there with Be Real for it closed, too, which was dope.
Yeah, so we there. I mean, I'm not there, and my boy goes, hey, man, stop, dude. I hate when you exaggerate. You're really tripping. So my boy says he goes up there. He sees Be Real outside, Cypress Hill, 15 Soul Assassins, every gangbanger from fucking South Side, you know what I'm saying? That whole South Bay, you know what I'm saying? The whole motherfucking Harbor City, the whole shit. And he sees these dudes. Dog, Muggs has to run in to start DJing, you know what I'm saying? They're still waiting outside in the parking lot of the House of Blues. And my boy walks by and he said, hey, man, what's up with, what the fuck are we doing out here, right? He goes, oh, we waiting for some bitch-ass motherfucker. This dude ain't baller. We waiting for this bitch-ass motherfucker right now. About to, you know what I'm saying, about to peel his caps, boom. And I'm like, wow, dog. Thank God I never showed up that night because it was a misunderstanding. I was like Be Real's like my bro, So, like, that shit got ugly to where I had to, like, watch what clubs I was going to because it was getting weird. And then I forgot what the fuck happened. But I ran up on, I pulled up on Be Real somewhere, and we talked. I said, listen, bro, this is what the deal was. This was some straight up music shit. This had nothing to do with anything. I just said, you know what I mean? That's a record on my label. I wasn't claiming it. He goes, and basically, me being affiliated with the label that Ice Cube was, you know what I'm saying, on, that was enough for me to get fucked up. You feel me? And people were already getting fucked up. People were getting their chains taken. If they seen people, it was getting ugly. And so, like, they squashed the beef. I know what the beef was about. I didn't want to get into it. It's like, but because they're both my homies. But if anybody said anything funny, let alone did some bitch ass troll, like, dog, you have to understand, man. Listen, I could never understand. To me, it's almost like 2 + 2. 2 + 2 will always equal 4. You can never tell me it's 4.2. It can't be 5. Can't be 6. It can't be that. Dog. I get it. If someone killed your mom and they're like, yo, who did it? Oh, that motherfucker right there. Because you can't handle him yourself, so you want the courts, whatever, that ain't me. Cool. That's what it is. But to do this trolling shit and go on people's pages, especially, like, check this out, man. There's an alliance amongst West Coast people, right? And I ain't going to get to the Bay yet. I'm saying, if you're talking about YG you talking about Nipsey, you talking about Mustard, or you talking about Game or someone that I fuck with, that people like that I'm cool with. That's a West Coast alliance, bro. You in violation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you really think like whatever, like, bro? First of all, man, y'all got your whole shit is all like fraudulent, man. It's all derived from West Coast gangbang and culture and everything else. You don't even know what you're saying. You saying blood this and blood that, but you don't know what the fuck you really don't know what the fuck you talking about. Yeah, you can learn some things because there's Google and there's this, that, and the third, but it's like sloppy and like for you to think that that's cool and everything, and the fact that like I don't even care if people think the music was kind of good. It's something about a millennial or a fan that thinks that that's okay to go out there and look crazy and talk to shit, then now be snitching in court. Like, bro, you.
That's wild. Like, especially bringing down a whole gang. That boy is bringing down a whole gang right now, a whole set. And I know multiple people that came out of doing 15, 20, 27-year, time bids for just staying silent on some shit that's not even as big as what dude's going through.
Yeah.
So the generation has changed. It's sad, like, especially being an ex, boy myself playing around the streets, like, the snitching shit today scares me. I'm glad I've been able to mature and get in some legal business because the way it's going now with the internet, I mean, people are snitching on themselves on Instagram, bro. Like, motherfuckers on the internet giving each play, damn near like, just got the pack, boom, I'm out here in Virginia, boom. Oh, this, it's like, bro, what?
I had some dude tell me he had a way to I don't know even why he even I don't even know why he volunteered this information, but he said, I got a plug of the DMV. I can change your VIN. I could do this. He's just saying all this shit. And the model, Tyson Beckford, a supermodel, whatever, he's a black dude model. He's like, how stupid are you, bro? He goes, I just clicked on your page, found your name, and within minutes, I found out what city you live in, certain things. Like, dog, I'm not even the police. He's like, you out here talking about you got a DMV, you know how fucking dumb you sound? And like, that's one thing. But then like more recently, like yesterday, I can't believe Cardi B admitted that she drugged dudes, robbed them, and it's just like, yo, bro, like, listen, man, let that be some rapper shit. I pray to God that no dude I just don't pray to God. Like, you better pray to God that no dude comes forward and says, yo, man, you was the one that robbed me, boom, here and there. And I know she's affiliated with some gangsters in New York and everything, but it's like, that's stupid. That was not, none of that needed to be said, like.
It opened up a possible Me Too moment,
It opened up a big thing. I mean, they hashtag, and it was number one. It was like, it was trending. I might be still trending now. Surviving Cardi B, because surviving R. Kelly. I'm like, yo, like, and she's like, I don't give a fuck about this, and this. And it's part of like, yo, man, your environment, you grow up. And like, even though I grew up in Koreatown, I grew up in K-Town, there's a lot of gangs there. And shit, MS-13 was founded in my hood and fucking all kinds of gangs going on. You have to want to kind of go outside your circle, go outside, be the lone wolf and want to, forward progress in your life. You want to grow, dog. You know what I'm saying? You want to
be stuck in the same shit.
Yeah,
I'm from the Bay. I grew up around and with the Asian gangsters. Shout out to all my Asians. You know what I mean? Like, just you know how it is out there in the Bay.
Come on, bro. I just saw it fucking. I mean, dog. When I was going to college, I was in the Bay like 1990 to 1994 and a half, and like, that dude Raymond Chow, whatever his name is, that dude.
I took Shrimp Boy out to his last dinner before he got raided by the feds. And the crazy thing is, I was working with him and Ephraim Walker and the guys that did Fruitvale Station on trying to get a movie called Chinatown done about him, right?
He's so dope.
And we went out and he was telling me stories for 2 or 3 nights, and I swore we were being fucked with. And there were some riders in from LA, and they're like, you're paranoid. I'm like, nah. So Shrimp Boy takes us to this underground club in Frisco, and we're having drinks, and they stepped outside for a cigarette, and out of nowhere, this big white dude pops up. He's like, what's up, man? I heard you guys talking business. I love to talk business. I'm like, actually, we're talking about film, but like, who the fuck are you? Where did you just come from? He's like, how do you know those guys? I'm like, man, I'm not. You seem like you're a fucking fed, bro.
Yeah, you look like the feds.
No disrespect, but I'm having a conversation with a writer who flew up from LA. Like, I don't know you from shit. If you're drunk and just trying to have a convo, it's not the spot. And he bounced. And I told Shrimp Boy, and I told them, I'm like, yo, there's some weird vibes up in here, this dude. And literally like 3 days later, he went down and they were following him, and he got caught up for that shit. And he's now doing life again, bro. It's many as fuck.
I watched so check it out, man. When you think about, I'm Asian, I'm Korean, but it's relative because I've associated with so many Asians and so many Chinese, and like when you think about Chinatown, there's no Chinatown in LA. There is one, but it's like that shit is null and void, right? If you think about New York, that's legit Chinatown. They did Year of the Dragon, this old Mickey Rourke gang film about Chinese gangs, and you think about it, but the real OG Chinatown to this day, even though there's way more Chinese here, to this day, San Francisco is the OG Chinatown. That's why Bruce Lee came to Chinatown. And that's why he went to San Francisco. Like, you go to San Francisco now, and you see the new Chase Center where the Warriors are playing, billions and billions of dollars there, and you see all the tech shit, and you go to the fucking Pacific Heights, go through the Marina, go through Nob Hill, and go through these areas, and there's multi-millions, go through Presidio, $20 million house is great. But Chinatown, you still see the slum, ghetto, straight project, Chinese housing. Chinatown still is what it is. And National Geographic did that documentary on Raymond Chow.
Underground, but what about the underground shit? The underground casinos.
That
and
shit was so dope, man, bro. And it's
dude.
like he said it like, even that Fed that they interviewed, that Chinese dude who was a part of the Asian gang unit, he said, man, you know what, Chinese people, they take care of their own. Like, they don't call the police. And
they ain't snitching at all.
yeah, and it's what it is. People don't know. That's what's so beautiful about the Bay and why I got so much love for it. And there's a lot of Asian gang shit that we could talk about. And dog, man, I'm gonna tell you something real funny, man. One of my boys who used to run with Game is Game's #1 security guard, right? And then he left and went over with Kendrick Lamar. And he just fresh out of bid. I think he might have did a 5 or a 6. He did a nickel or somewhere around there, but he did a legit bid. And when I say real dog, my boy, real gangster. I don't need to say too much, but you would know that Kendrick ain't have no but real gangbangers around him, right?
Real ones around.
OG real ones. And he told me he was out, fresh out, right out the pin, boom, and like this little like Japanese station wagon pulled up, and it was Asian dudes. They pulled up on him, a real Pyru, and they pulled up on him and said, yeah, what's up, dog? And he was like, what's up, man? What the fuck you want? He's like, I'm gonna fuck these dudes up. I'm about to smack one of these motherfuckers. I just got fresh out. You know what I mean? Like, what you pulling up on me for, right? And it was like, hey, man, you know what some Asian slobs is at? And like, if it was like, and he's fresh out, if it was like a black or Mexican that probably said the slob word, I think he probably would have caught a case right there, boom, whipped his ass
right
or whatever.
back in,
because it's the most disrespectful thing you could call the blood, right? But it was an Asian dude, and as he said it, he said he looked back in the back of the dude's bed, where that's like a station wagon, and he said there was multiple, maybe 10, 15 Foliatos, and the dudes in the backseat all had bandanas, and they was definitely gonna kill people. You know what I'm saying? Like, these were the Asian boys.
They was on one, bro.
Asian boys, yeah. They was really like, and he was like, shit. He's like, I don't know, guys. I know where some real ones are, though. I don't know where the Asian ones are. He goes, I don't know where the real ones are. It was funny as hell because he even said, he goes, that was my first light of seeing how crazy the Asian gangs are, And it's like, going back to the music shit, everyone that was rapping, unless you was like Young MC or certain people, like even Razkaz from Carson, he had real bloods behind him. You know what I'm saying? One of his homies, was a OG BMF cat. And it's like, you have dudes who are gonna check you. If you have beef, then you're gonna deal with it. There's no way you was not gonna deal with it. I mean,
you were gonna run into it. If you're in the rap game, yeah, for sure.
I don't wish it, but like when I see someone like 6ix9ine talking like this, I'm like, bro, and it's just inevitable. I don't want to manifest it. And I know people are like, you shouldn't. What are you talking about? You got there's hundreds of millions of more kids that live, or there's more people on the earth than there were in the 90s. And it's like, bro, man, y'all just don't get it.
And the access is like way, way, way more. Like, you can get on a live and show where you're at, and motherfuckers be like, boom, sliding on them. Yeah. Or word, he's right around the corner. So cats talk so much shit on the internet because they're expressing their feelings. But
if this dude really does get out, I have this. I'm talking. He's gonna get touched, bro. And I ain't talking about it. It's gonna be RIP for him, bro. Like, I mean, really for real. Like, I think they just can't. Even like, I know Fat Joe was like, "Hey man, cool, boom," and then he was like, "Yo man, I didn't know. Like, I would never." And Fat does respect the streets, and I think a lot of people don't realize how tight in Fat Joe is and how serious Terror Squad is. And if you don't, then go look up, who Pete is, and all these other people in the group, and they like, and Scott, your boy Storch will tell you, you know what I'm saying? Terror Squad, they real dudes.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like,
shout out to the Terror Squad. I know a bunch of the homies over there, and they're not having any of that. I don't think anyone in New York is gonna have that. I mean, if he gets out, if 6ix9ine gets out, and I was talking about this with the wife the other day, if 6ix9ine gets out, if he does not go somewhere under witness protection and he ends up snitching on everyone, it's a wrap. And I am like convinced that he thinks that what he's doing is okay because the internet is telling him it's okay, and so he's gonna get out and try to come around. He was already taunting LA.
But it's just corny to go to Chicago, have a police escort, go places, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, yo, dog, you allowed
Well, it's
that
just like, bro, like you're tempting people that are already struggling to survive, right? So you're coming to LA, you're tempting gangbangers, you're trying to fucking beef with Slim 400, you're trying to beef with the people in Chicago, you're going to the projects with a police escort filming, you're asking for trouble. That's not a genuine soul.
No.
Like these people already are trying to survive in the environment they're in, and for you to pop in and try to start shit, that's when I lost all respect. I was like, yo, bro, this kid, I don't care how big he is or what it is, I could never be around, associated or work with.
I can't fuck with dude, period.
Can't fuck with him.
I can't fuck with dude in any which way. I would never bang his music or nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's just sad because I have people who I work with who are younger in their 20s and stuff, like, nah, we cool. And they don't get it because, like, listen, man, everyone needs to grow up. No, dog, that's not growing up, homie. Growing up to look the other cheek and be like, oh, it's funny, it's entertaining. It's not, dog, because that dude from Albany, the little Indian kid, Lavish. It's Lavish. Remember, bitch? He was going people. I mean, bro, he got clapped up. He got slapped up. This whatever. It's like, yo, bro.
Was that kid real? Like, did that kid actually really have bread?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think his parents had enough to get him some iPhones, and they felt bad for him because he was like, you know, whatever. But I think he worked as a valet parker right there at Union Square. A lot of cars. So he had access to cars, certain things, and he was using people's high rise to take pictures. And he was just
wow. Yeah. That dude, like for a while, people were talking about that kid. It's Lav or whatever his name is.
Lavish.
Yeah, it's Lavish. This little kid, I was like, how is this kid got all this bread?
Yeah.
And I do remember the video, but the fact that he was like pulling a little Tay is mainly like, I thought he had paper. I thought
he ain't got no paper. And there was a real person with the same name, same Indian name, that was actually very wealthy that lived more closer to Black Hawk area. And they were like on that side of the East Bay. And yeah, dude, you know, I found out he went to Albany High. And, you know, boom, I have a lot of friends who went to Albany High. And I know a lot about Albany, you know what I'm saying? Like I know that area because my brother went to, when he left the dorms and everything, and he left Berkeley, he decided to move to Albany when my brother went to Cal as well, Berkeley. So I have like a lot of history with Berkeley, and my brother's way older than me. My brother's 8 years older than me, so you know my brother's 54, and like, you know, I know that area, and Albany's like the good school because it's a small area. Boom, some people get busted, some people if they can get in. Anyways, going on, there wasn't really too many gangs out there. You know what I'm saying? There was these Southsider Mexican dudes that were out there in like the area, but there wasn't so many per se gangs. You know, it was like it was more people repping their streets in Oakland, or you know, or like being from the CCC in Vallejo, or being certain things. And people in Oakland just say blood, like as in like a term.
Yeah, like I'm a Bay Area dude. When I first came out to LA, my manager Stretch was like, "Yo, you can't just say blood like that." I'm like, but you know, it's just like saying like, "What up, buddy?" You know, what I mean?
Really is. You know what I'm saying? And this is I'm talking about the '90s. You know what I mean? Early '90s, and people like, "Hey, bro, stop saying that shit." Not me. I'm saying people come around. I'm like, hey, bro, they're saying it like on the 70s, how brothers would you know, how they would, it was a term of endearment. You know, I'd be like, hey, yo, hey, blood, what's going on, blood? And they would just say it because it was like something to say. And like, you know, I miss that era, you know, like, and let's talk about West Coast Bay Area shit, you know, like DJ Quik, he's a legend, dog. You know, I mean, I fuck with him so hard because I was a DJ, and he was such a dope DJ. Plus, he had such a legendary, that first album, Quik as the Name, is like insane. But, you know, there's beef. The Dodgers got beef with the Giants. Now, personally, I don't fuck with the Giants. I can't stand the Niners, but I'll rock with the Raiders and I rock with the Warriors, whatever, boom. And just those two teams I really fuck with, right? And like people take these rivalries a certain way, but I got love for the Bay. The thing is, when I transferred from Berkeley to SF State, that's when I started seeing a lot of different things. Like, well, I played football there too. A lot of the people, see at Berkeley, you got people coming from New York, Alaska, California, Florida, blah, blah, all over. It's a D1 school. SF State, it's mostly like, you got a lot of junior college guys from College of San Mateo, you know what I'm saying, DVC, and, you know, SF City College, whatever, boom, these small colleges. So you got a lot of local cats from the Bay. So you meet all these people, and at that time, that was when this label, In a Minute Records, it just came out. You know what I'm saying? RBL Posse had just popped up, and they were killing it, bro. And this was before I got fresh in the music business, and you're like, yo, these dudes is legitimately pressing up CDs, putting them out at Stonestown Mall.
Just going crazy.
Yeah, it hit Stonestown Mall, the Galleria, boom, at Terrace Records. And like, you go buy these things and you're like, okay, cool. So DJ Quik performed at the Cow Palace. You know what the Cow Palace is, bro? That's motherfucking HP. You know what I'm saying? This is when Geneva Towers was cracking and everything. And they chased Quik out of there, bro. He was fucking running. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I don't want to say anything bad about Quik. It was just, they was not fucking with dude. You know what I mean? Like Hunters Point, Alamany, Black Hole, and Fillmore, they was on some real G shit. You know, it's just a lot of things have gentrified and cleaned up. People don't know this. Like before Levi Stadium, if you wanted to go the back route to Candlestick Park, you had to go through HP. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, HP is a whole nother world, bro. Yes. You're gonna see wild dogs running around, like packs of wild dogs.
Babies running around, 4 years old. Like
you're gonna have kids on the corner that are definitely got cannons on them. Hunters Point is a crazy neighborhood, and it's actually hella sad to see what they're doing at HP right now. They're putting these crazy luxury apartments right across the street from the projects.
I just saw it.
And it's like, damn, bro, like the shit is just so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're even looking at they're gentrifying Oakland to where Oakland is almost unaffordable for these people. And like, I mean, I just remember like, look at man. You go to a Raiders game and you're going to see the most cracking shit you ever seen in your life. You can go to the craziest Green Bay. I know their fans are crazy. I'm a Seahawks fan. Go to the Seahawks games and no fights ever. But, like, you can go to a rowdy stadium. I can't think of one off the top of my head. And you think the Raiders, it's the most gangster shit. And yeah, I've seen dudes get whooped up and I've seen people get stabbed. I was Raiders fans for 30 years. But when you go and Google it, YouTube it. YouTube the 49ers Candlestick Park versus the Raider games. I'm talking, I would see 17 on 17 fights, 12 on 12, 13 here. I saw a big ass paddy wagon where the HP entrance is. A paddy wagon was going by. I think this thing probably held 30, 40 people. And they were just putting motherfuckers, zip tying them and throw them in the back of the fucking thing. And I was like, yo, where the fuck did all these Mexican gangsters come? It was women fighting. It was just crazy. You should see red.
Candlestick was wild, bro.
Candlestick was. I never knew it was that lit because I hated the Niners. So during college, I avoided it. Right. Then after college, I'm up there, and I'm like, bro, this is a war zone, bro. They shouldn't even allow the Raiders to play fucking this shit's crazy. And it's just like people are fighting in the. It was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. People when you watching the game at one point, you just see like, and Candlestick was always freezing cold. You remember that's like fucking brick.
Yeah.
And so people are just out there fighting, acting up. I'm like, bro, this shit is crazy. Like it's beyond like controllable.
I miss Candlestick, bro. Candlestick was many, bro.
Yeah,
Candlestick was legendary. Like we talked about kind of like street shit. We talked about LA, and I didn't even know your Bay history was that deep, which is dope. But as you walked in today, I'm sitting here dealing with just straight weed beef, right? So we know about the rap beef. We know, is there beef in the jewelry community? Like, as a jeweler, is there beef, or is it more of like,
there's like, okay, so check it out, man. This is the thing with me, man. Like, this is the thing, and people can say, oh man, get off your high horse, get off your ego, boom, and it's like, okay, check it out. Let's say we went and we had all the jewelers got in. Let's just say there's 10 relevant jewelers. I don't even think there's that many. No, first of all, there's 3 million jewelers in the world, right? But I'm on Instagram or like, popping.
The ones that got status and artists coming to them.
So I can say I can maybe name 10, but I know I can name 5 that are worth naming. Excuse me. So let's say like if there was a Grammys, and there kind of is, right? They have the JCK, which is the biggest thing. And these people don't even recognize hip-hop jewelers or custom jewelers like that. They're recognizing like real innovators who have like done all these kind of crazy things and whatever, like, and like there's 300,000 people that they nominate or like that try to get bids, and then boom, they choose one person, right? In 2017, I made Jeweler of the Year, dog. This is like an enormous accomplishment. And like I wore a suit, I had this Dior suit on. I was like, yo, boom, went downstairs. The host was walking me and she was, hey, what are you wearing? And I was like, I'm wearing Dior. This is Dior Homme. Bitch, this is like $6,000 suit. And she's like, no, go back upstairs and put on your Supreme shit. Like, you broke the mold. You have, everyone at least had a button shirt or polo or something. You're coming out here wearing streetwear with tattoos and you've changed the genre. You've broken, the mold of the stereotype of what a jeweler looks like. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Went upstairs, boom, got my clothes, and I talked, and I spoke, and I broke down how, I learned the business and certain things. And like, when I get there, it's like, listen, man, Jacob's been, nominated. He's a legend. He's, way before me, and he's still a legend. But like, none of you guys even talked about and discussed. That's one thing to be said, though. It's bigger than just what we're at, because this shit is small, what we're doing. Mm. Okay? But now let's go into the level where we are. Like, all right, it's a lot of young cats out here. Like, when you see these dudes in rap or music or business, if you hit 30, you're like, okay, now you're starting to get washed up. 40, forget about it. You know what I mean? You beyond that, right? But like, I've remained relevant at 46. I'm 46, and I got fans that are 13, 12, 15, 20. And my biggest fan base is like 18 to 30, Like most people my age, their fan base is like 40 to 50, And it's like, I have a wide spectrum of fans. And like, when it gets to the jewelry shit, I do talk a lot of shit, but if I wasn't backing it up, it'd be a problem. I'm not 6'9"
quality
enough.
speak. The pack talks.
Yeah.
Because I see people that got your shit compared to other shit, and
so like there's issues like, for instance, like Highline in the Bay. They talk mad shit here and there, whatever. And I'm like, hey man, they are what they are for what they do, but at the same time, like I feel like they ain't even in discussion, But then let's say, for instance, like TV Johnny or like Elliot or these other people or like Icebox or certain things. There was this dude. And he had a page, it was called Fake Jewelry Buster. Mm-hmm. And everyone thought it was me. And I was like, listen, man, I appreciate y'all think that I had this kind of time, Like, motherfucker, I own 3 companies. I got 200 employees. I got 3. Like, I ain't got time for that shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I got better things to do. I don't mind leaving a comment top, but to sit there and get the way he was talking, it was weird. Dude was weird. I don't know what his point was, but cool. He was also funny because he was exposing people. At the same time, he was doing shit that was kind of silly. But he stole his idea from Fake Watchbuster.
Shout out to Fake Watchbuster. Those guys actually congratulated me when I bought a rollie at the Beverly Hills Rollie store. I went in there just to look at some. I just left Be Real smoke box, and I was so high and I smelled like so much weed. They wouldn't show me the Prezi I wanted to see. They're holding it behind the counter, and I was like, bro, I really will cash out for this motherfucker, bro. Like, what's up? Okay, put your bag down, sit down, we'll show you. I'm like, damn. So I bought the rollie. I made the dude walk to the bank with me. I had to make a cashier check to the store, Beverly Hill Rollie, and I made the lady behind the counter say my balance nice and loud so we could hear, right? Went back. I put on Instagram, popping the bottom, and they actually congratulated me. I think I was like one of the first people that they weren't calling out. Shout out to Fake Watchbuster. It was just a moment.
So Fake Watchbuster is a guy I know. I actually met him. I flew to Europe, and I was out there for something else with Tyga and another client, and I met him. Cool dude, straight dude, but he's very smart, very legit. I mean, it's very hard to do what he does, and he's legit. And he called out a lot of people, and that's not my fault. You know what I mean? That's on him. I don't know dude like that. But people thought I was him too, and I said, listen, let me cut this out real quick. I don't know as much about watches as this dude does. Like, he knows about shit that I would never. I can tell what's fake and what's this, but to know like movements, to see where a certain like screw is aligned, like he's deep. This dude was crazy to the point where AP and people like that offered him a job. You know what I mean? Like he was that deep with it. So he was a great watch connoisseur, learned everything. Fake Jewelry Buster called these people out, and people started hitting me up. Mr. Flawless, Avion's hit me up, you know, Icebox blocked me, thought I was this. And I know Mo, I know all those kids are Icebox and cool, whatever. This is what all I'm saying is this. I'm an OG. I've never hired a publicist in my life. Every time I did Breakfast Club or anything, blah, blah, that was because they wanted to fuck with me. I had a TV show that was successful about jewelry. You know, I just shot a pilot for CNBC. I'm doing bigger things, and I've done it all on my own. I mean, I have an agent, but it's like, you know, really it's me. And to be myself and never have to filter things, I appreciate that, the fact that, you know, I could still do this, not have to go give somebody a free chain and do this. And like, I'm going to be real with you. Out of these 5 or top 10 jewelers, 80% of their clients owe them paper. Like, they don't pay their bills, you know what I'm saying?
I've heard so much shit about that, bro.
Yeah.
I've heard so much shit about that.
And it causes like this drama, and they scared because they ain't built the certain way. And I'm like, yo, bro, I think people forget where the fuck I was for a long time. You know, I was in the Slauson Swap Meet, so it's like
born and raised in LA, bro.
Yeah.
Period. California.
I mean, but at the same time, like, you can't walk around here. Steve will tell you, know, boom, like, dog, I've been in Benzes and Bentleys and Lambos and fucking cars. You can't drive through the hood in a Lambo or a Bentley on a regular basis and not get pressed up on. You know what I'm saying? No one pressed up on me. No one ever touched me or came out at me. I had a certain amount of respect, you know, and I was always good to the streets too. So when it comes to this jewelry beef, you know, I know people probably beef with Johnny, people beef with some other peoples and other things and whatever. My only issue is this, man. You can't beat my work. You're going to beat the prices possibly, right? But there's now clarity enhanced diamonds that look on a small piece, like a chain, you can't tell. It's impossible. Jeweler can't tell. That's where it became a problem. You know, the big stones, like my earrings and stuff,
yeah,
I can tell. Give me a little time, I can tell to mess with it here and there. But there are diamond detectors that are doing that. The thing is, people are like, oh, man, you see this thing? Beep, 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 beep. They're doing a diamond tester. It's like, bro, that shit don't work for CE, you know, Clarity Enhanced or HPHT diamonds or like, you know, CVDs and shit. That shit will turn green still. You know what I mean? They don't get it. There's a lot of more sophistication to it. And it's like, you know, I don't want to pull people's card out because it just, but like, you see these motherfuckers with gigantic diamond rings and certain shit and everything else. Like, bruh, listen, dog.
Berner, I know what my wife's wedding ring costs. Like,
I know. What I'm getting at is, okay, so Berner, man, do you know a little bit about cars at least somewhat, anything?
A little bit. I don't drive. I'll be honest. I never really admitted I don't drive.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you have any idea what a new, let's say a Ferrari 488, right? That's out. Do you know what a Ferrari 488 costs? Any idea?
Like, was it like 200 or something? Like,
no. So like a base model is like maybe 280, but like realistically, they're probably between 320 to 360 depending how they optioned out.
Okay.
When a base model, I'm talking about, these motherfuckers will not put a radio in your, like for real, like you have no like radio at all. Like, you know, some people use it for racing and track. So let's just say the car's, just for argument's sake, 320. If a dude came up to you, and that car's current, you know what I mean? The first model was in 16, right? And it's the current Ferrari. If a dude was like, hey, Berner, come on, dog, I got this car, bro. You know what I'm saying? It got like 6,000 miles on it, which is low. and be like, Bern, I got this car for you for 120. What's good, man? You want to get it? Off top, you already know something ain't right with the car.
Something's shilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you already know something ain't right.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in the clothing business and you make clothes, you make certain things, you know, people are like, oh, I got a Gildan, boom. And you screen printed some cool thing on it, and all these hipsters or little cool kids followed you, they like it. All of a sudden, you sell the sheets for $200, $300. Like, yo, bro, you tripping. That's a Gildan. You know what I mean? Use the bullshit blank, now boom. Like, at least when you see Givenchy or Saint Laurent, certain things, they're trying to use better. They're running their own blanks. They're running their own materials, and they use high quality. Still, that game is on a different level. Now, if they're using a certain amount of silk or certain selvage denim or like, you know, gold zippers or some things, I get it. For the most part, there's bullshit. Gold is a precious metal. It's actually the same value anywhere across the earth. You know, so like gold in San Francisco is the same price it is in Alaska, as it is in Dubai, as it is in Tokyo, as it is in Africa. Doesn't matter. It's a universal currency. It always stays. It's not like a euro where it goes different buy rates in different states and countries. Diamonds are pretty much almost the same. And, you know, it's like when you start fucking with that market and you got dudes in New York City who are selling a ring for like $1 million, like, yo, shit's $1 million. Like, okay, that's dope. Like, and you got dudes in the hood who have never even seen $10,000. And they're like, oh, it's $1 million. And they have a phone, you know what I mean? They're on their iPhone 4 with fucking, you know, like boost technology, you know, boost mobile fucking shit. And like, yo, yeah, I have Instagram. Yeah, I saw it's $1 million, man. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But the thing is, that ring would cost $15 million, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just like people are just all bullshitting, you know what I mean? Like, it's all too much. It's just too much bullshit with the filters and certain things. And like, I had to post something to the point where I was like, yo, bro, I only post cars that I own. That's rare for Instagram. I get it, but that's just me, you know? So I think these jewelers now, they're trying to go out there and catch this lifestyle. They're out there taking pictures in jets. They're going picking up the artists. I'm not trying to be a friend with these rappers, dog. That's the problem.
Well, that's another thing. Is like, bro, when you really dealt with music or the music industry or the game or any kind of business like that, like, you know for sure that you don't want to be around that shit all the time, dude.
Yeah, dog. You know,
we got kids at the house. We got a family. We got big business.
I don't even go out like that.
I
don't
go out either. I don't.
And so, like, you know, like, in 2 years in LA alone, I have gone out twice after 10 p.m. where alcohol was being served, and both times was for Kid Cudi because he invited me out to his birthday. He had a little private little thing, and had another thing the week after for the Grammys, and I was like, yo, boom. Other than that, these jewelers, they want recognition so bad that they'll go have one of my clients, whatever, boom. It's like, listen, I'm not saying you're not talented. All I'm saying is you're so desperate to get one of my guys, you solicit business. I will never ask anybody if they want a chain. Never. Dog, my boys hit me up like, hey man, Kanye wants your phone number. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, and I wasn't like, I'm just saying, like, I wasn't jumping on it. I got real big A-list celebrities hitting me up to like, hey man, I want to get something made, and I don't have the time. Do you know? Because I'm focusing on VVS and whatever. So I make one piece a month, and it's legendary. Like, I just dropped $1 million chain today on a real $1 million chain on my gram today, and like, you know,
someone bought $1 million chain.
Yeah.
Part 2 of this episode will be available on Monday. Make sure you tap back in. A lot more game for y'all. It's going down right here on the Round Table with your boy Berner. Thank you.